Hi, I'm Jack, and in Greek that comes in as Yakis, that's my pagan name, and I am the caretaker and senior clergy at Sweetwood Temenos. I have a lot of ethics that I grew up on the farm with, and but long story short, back in 1970 when I graduated from high school, I was into being a hippie and counterculture, and anyway, went back to college several different times. Last time I went back, I was taking women's studies courses because I wanted to be a therapist, and I figured most of my clients were going to be women. So I better check out my attitude or my prejudices. I had really good women's studies classes. The first one I had, we read When God Was a Woman and Spiral Dance and Drawing Down the Moon. This is back in 81, right? Okay. That year, they also got Starhawk to come to do a spiral dance up in the Memorial Union at Madison. And that's when I decided I was going to be a pagan because I fell in love with the goddess, right? Okay. Well, at the same time, I was also going to see a Jungian analyst. And so I start to be interested in the goddess as an archetype of the animus, or anima, I should say. And so Jungian psychology, study of mythology, and women's studies, and being a therapist all kind of converged. I got initiated in 93 as a Gardnerian and got second by 95, joined the Church of All Worlds. And we had a bunch of local people around here, Minneapolis being one of the group of people that we started to hang out. I told you about the land that we had bought, and we started to build a church around that. We created a sacred circle in the woods where my wife and I got married. I built it for our wedding in 95. A bunch of us got together and we decided that we were going to do a church. First, we were a subsidiary organization of CEW, but I got ordained by CEW, and I did. We were supposed to do a couple things to get ordained by CEW. At that time, CEW had quite the demanding um, training in order to become clergy. You know, when I show other young people who want to become clergy and say, "Look at what we had to read and look at what we had to do," and they kind of, "You expecting us to do this?" Mm. But um, my clergy project was to create a prototype for a neo-pagan church, which is what Sweetwood Temenos is. The board has 2 members at large that are elected and 3 permanent members. But now we changed that, and we're making the permanent members of the board, which is the president, the treasurer, and the secretary. Um, they're going to age out, and then who replaces them will be 5 and 5 year slots, and the board members elect them, so it becomes even more democratic. But we want to maintain institutional memory, so it's really important. We're starting to create a tradition to do that. So that's what we're doing here at Sweetwood. So again, this is our vision of what a neo-pagan church should be. And Sweetwood has now approximately somewhere around about 40, 40 to 50 paid members. We ask $120 a year. 2 of my dear women friends and lovers to Kim and I, because we're poly, one of them says before she died, Jack, we should really go up to Paganicon. It was one of the first times. And you got to schmooze, Jack. You got to get out there and meet the pagans up in Minneapolis. We know people down Madison, and Selena basically has a corner on the market down in Madison. Okay. So we wanted to meet new people, so we heard about Paganicon and came up there. We liked it. So we met a lot of people from Minneapolis, and I would say at least a quarter of our members are from the Minneapolis St. Paul area. So we just met a bunch of nice folks up there, and other people coming in, meeting with people up by Eau Claire and Menominee and I don't know, north of Minneapolis, and so it's just been a good time, and and just really nice people over the years. If you really want a good prototype of a pagan church, I mean, you got your own different groups and stuff like that, but we have Druids here, and we have all kinds of different people from Gardnerians, different people, and so we tell them that those people are welcome to come here, because here at Sweetwood, if you want to do something, come here and do it. And if you're camping overnight, you're not a member, just pay for camping overnight is $15 per person. But come and do your rituals here, because we got a beautiful the main circle. One time was about 60 feet in diameter. It's a little bit smaller, but it's a really nice sacred circle, and I built it originally for Kim and I getting married. So that's an offering to people if they want a place where pagans actually own the land, and it's run relatively democratic, and it's not a cult of personality. Other than you think I'm a cult of personality, I try to disabuse people of that idea. But anyway, but yeah, I was president for 20 some years, but it wouldn't never really happen without a lot of other people really pitching in and doing it. And so pagans who come and spend their money here or do things here help this land as a pagan sanctuary exist.